Hey guys! So it's been a while since I've done an anime review. I am very sorry. It's just when that last episode of the whole character development with Tsukishima ended, I was gonna do it that Sunday, but I didn't have time. And then that week was pretty much Thanksgiving. My dad was here, and then on top of that, he was still here when that last week's episode of Haikyuu was there. And yeah, and now yesterday the new episode of Haikyuu aired, and I just haven't had enough time to do a review. So yeah, but yeah, I'm finally doing a review. So starting off with episode 8 of Haikyuu, which, by the way, was the most saddest part of the whole manga, that I was pretty much in tears when I read it in the manga. And it was a lot more powerful in the anime, because in the anime we didn't get to really truly know more about his older brother and Tsukishima's relationship and what it was really like. We just know in the manga that, you know, he really truly admired his older brother. But in the anime we had some more scenes that made, like, you could see like that connection between his brother and how much he truly loved his brother and how much his brother really loved volleyball. And honestly, those scenes really made a really huge impact, where it really hit home when I watched it in the anime. It made things more emotional, and it was just really sad. I was in tears, and it was just really heartbreaking to watch. I just really liked those new scenes that we got, because it, like I said, it just made such a bigger impact in the anime than it did in the manga. Like, it had more feels, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And we also got to see a tad bit more of how Tsukishima and Yumaguchi ended up becoming friends, and I really loved that moment in the manga as well, because it was just such a cute little moment. You can honestly see how heartbroken Tsukishima was when he found out his brother wasn't playing volleyball. And then the look on Tsukishima's brother, how he was just kind of like torn apart after seeing his little brother there. And it was just so heartbreaking, because that's the whole point of the title of this episode, Illusionary Hero. Anyways, so, and then we got that part where Yumaguchi and Tsukishima fight, or, you know, I just really like that, because pretty much Yumaguchi kind of stands up to Tsukishima and tells him, you know, get your crap together and just try and become a more stronger player. And then there's this moment in the anime where we finally see Tsukishima actually trying to improve himself in these practice games, and I cannot wait for you guys to see what is up, you know, what's gonna come up next in, not right now, but episodes later on, of how this little change is going to affect Tsukishima later on. It's just going to be so amazing. Episode 9 just basically focuses back on Hinata and Kageyama, but mainly Hinata. Hinata sees that he still needs to improve, and that's pretty much the main focus of the episode, of Hinata trying to improve himself. And he ends up training with Bokuto, Akashi, Kuro, and Tsukishima. They end up, you know, basically practicing together to improve and see how they can improve. But yeah, it's basically the main focus, which really, I honestly don't really have much to talk about. And then this week's episode, I don't really have much to talk about either, other than the fact that it still focuses on Hinata and Kageyama, and as well as like other little bits of pieces of the characters, of how, you know, their practices are finally paying off, and we're starting to see results of their hard work, of their individual practices that they've been doing. And we finally get to see that new quick attack that they've been, you know, Hinata and Kagema have been practicing, but, you know, apart. And it finally worked out in their favor, which was very, very awesome and amazing to see. And pretty much I was exactly like Yachi, just overall happy over this situation. And yeah, we're finally get to see them pretty much kind of like coming together. So anyways, that's pretty much everything that happens in this week's episode. We just start to see more results of their improvements, and yeah. I will mention some parts that I really loved about last week's episode, which was that barbecue song. It was better than I expected. In the manga, it was really cute and funny how they made it, but I feel like in the anime it was just like 10 times better. I know I always say that, and it truly is. I am never disappointed of how they go about with Haikyuu in the anime. They always do such a really good job, so yeah. And then another thing that I really, really loved was when Kuro says that he's always been this kind, and Hinata and Tsukishima give him like that weird look. And then another moment that I really truly loved in this week's episode was when we have an excited Bokuto when he scores. He gets all excited and tells Agashi, you know, hey, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Or when he goes into his so-called emo mode. I just really enjoyed these type of things that you see from Bokuto. And like I said, you guys are finally getting to see why I love Bokuto as a character. He's just an amazing character overall. You just can't help but love this little beautiful owl. You just can't like not love him. I absolutely love him. And yeah, that's everything I had to say about this past 3 episodes. Again, I'm sorry it's been a little late, but here it is and I finally did it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! There's so much I can say, and honestly, this is gonna still keep going on into the next episode. We are still gonna learn a little bit more about Tsuki,